Hi guys, George here, and today I'm going to bring to you a video about, again, routing, but it will be based on the comments and the feedback that I received in the previous video. And what I'd like to concentrate on is, do I need to route? And is need the right word? So let's get on with the show, okay? All right, so let's take a look at the comments that we got. So if I click here, Advanced Squad Leader Academy said, that's Neil Yulden, by the way. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing her last name. Neither of the 436 on the left can interdict. FFMO is either negated by orchards or they would be at long range. I would probably make M4 the target out of the three valid targets. Route the American unit N2, no interdiction possible, and 3 interdiction from X1, M4, and take the interdiction check in N3 and X1 with the 8 morale. I wholeheartedly agree. I really messed up with the orchards. I completely discounted the fact that the orchard is an inherent terrain. It would inflict a +1 DRM on the infantry target type or the IFT. So there would not be any interdiction there. So that would be on that left flank there. So Neil, point well taken, and nice catch on your behalf. I gave him a heart for that one. Second comment: advanced squad leader tactics and analysis. Did I pronounce that right? Is it analysis or analysis? Oh well. Uh, that's Stu, right? So let me make something perfectly clear. There's still something to be learned from Stu. I highly encourage you to watch his channel and and see what he says. Now, his comment: the first thing that must be determined is not destination, but the requirement to route. Does the unit need to route? Caps. Excuse me, folks. I need a coffee. Hold on a second here. So this is instant coffee, cream, real cream, and Splenda. Type 1.5 diabetic. Hold on one second. Good coffee. It's nice and warm, just the right temperature. And this is the cup that Jose Savard did not give me for free. It says in French, Capricorne, disciplinaire, sérieux, économie, économe, et sage. Means I'm smart, I'm disciplined, I'm serious, and very economical. I have a couple of lucky numbers, among them 11, 17 uh, are, are there. 11 probably because I'm pretty good at playing craps. Anyway, that's neither here or there. Let's get back to the subject. Now, here's the question. Is routing a question of need, right? Now, some people need weed. Some people need booze. Some people need, fill in the blank. Some people need food. Everybody needs food. But is this a need? According to the rule book, is this the right term we should be using? Um, Unfortunately, I think more analysis should have gone into this statement, and we would have picked another term that would be more congruent or parallel to what is stated in the rule book. So, from my perspective, uh, I still stand by the first thing that you need to do is determine your legal route location. So let's go into the analysis as to why that would be, okay? Yeah. So broken units must route unless they have the opportunity to opt not to do so. Why is that? Okay. The reason why is once you determine the legal route location, that legal route location may be 0 movement factors to X number of movement factors away from your present location where the broken unit broke. So the important factor there is that 0. Hold on, 0. Meaning I'm already in rally terrain. I am not adjacent to any known enemy unit. Therefore, I may opt to not route any further than where I already am. So that's a whole different optic than a need, right? So, and I'll explain further why it's not a need that you need to be looking at. It's whether you must or you're given the opportunity to opt not to. Okay, that's a better term. Now, two instances where a unit must route: breaks adjacent to a known enemy unit, or breaks in open ground. So you may break in open ground and you're nowhere near a known enemy unit. Okay, but according to the rule, you must get away from there, and that is in the starter kit rule book, rule 3.6. Let's read it carefully. During the route phase, a broken unit in melee may not end a route phase adjacent or in the same location as an unbroken known enemy unit, and may not remain in place in the same open ground location in the normal range and loss of a known good order enemy unit. So the moment, let's rephrase that and go according to the rule book. If you are in the normal range of a known enemy unit, you break in open ground. Doesn't matter that you're not adjacent to it. You got a route. All right. Now, the big book, in the big book, it's rule to A alpha 10.5 routing. During the route phase, a broken unit not in melee may not remain in the same open ground hex in the normal range and loss of a known non melee enemy unit, its support weapon, gun, nor, regardless of terrain, may end a route phase adjacent to the same location with a known enemy unit that is both unbroken and armed. So, breaking over open ground, folks, in the normal range of a known enemy unit requires you to route. And we came across that example, I believe, last Wednesday, where Mark and Dennis and I were playing a three-way slugfest, um, and I tried to goad my enemy into firing on a unit, so other more important units can achieve their movement successfully without any possibility of any more fire. And lo and behold, the unit breaks in open ground. Along comes road phase. Am I allowed to remain in that open ground? Um, and I was in the normal range of an LMG, uh, so we had to low crawl out of there. So, the important thing that I want to emphasize is get that location, but be cognizant that that location, that legal location, may already be the hex that you're in. Okay. Now let's talk. Now that we've established that, and I hope there's no controversy, but if there is, look, I'm open to discussion. Right. Let's go to route direction and take it one more step further. Okay. Let's take it one step above. Okay. So there might be some text cut off here, but look, anybody wants this PowerPoint, I'll be more than glad to share it with them. Okay. And I'm going to go over it verbally here. So, direction. Once we establish uh, the position, uh, you need to pay attention to direction as well. Okay. So it could be direction 0, the same location as your unit broke. There are pros and cons in deciding where you're going. Okay. So the pro here is you hold a position with the hope of reviving your unit from its DM status and broken status, and you're not taking him out of the fight, and you're not bringing him closer to any unit that can subsequently advance next to him and put him back in DM and whatnot. So the con is you remain there. Um, the enemy may encircle you. You may become adjacent or DM'd upon enemy fire. And that's why in the starter kit example that we will re-examine in Vassal, that's why I believe they're showing you that a unit that otherwise may opt to remain in sex may route away from the enemy. And I'm not too sure if they discuss in depth why that unit may opt to get out of there, get out of Dodge. Retreat, provided your legal route location is in the rear. Again, all these directions are provided that you are actually routing the unit to its legal route location. Okay. You may have the opportunity to use rally terrain and no DM for a quicker revival. So you're taking him away from the action. You're bringing him towards the rear where the enemy may not want to engage you. You put the unit in rally terrain. They get a +1 to their a +1 for the rally. So if he needs an 8, it will now be a 9 because he's in rally terrain. And if he's stacked with a leader and it's not a self rally, you'll need a 9. If the broken morale is 8, you'll need a 9 to rally him. That's a surefire way of putting the guy back into the fight. Stack him with an 8-0 or a 7-0 leader. Now, the only con that I can imagine is the location may take the unit out of the fight. And it has happened to us, especially in the advanced game, in the full version of the game. The unit's location is 6 X's away from the front. He goes all the way in the back, and that's where he stays for the rest of the game, for one reason or another. So, in knowing the direction, right? Knowing the legal route location, knowing the direction, you should also anticipate the consequences of where the unit is going. So you can change your strategy with the units that you do have to use in the fight. So it's not thinking about need. It's thinking about the legal route location. Number one. Number two, the direction and what are the consequences subsequently to routing that unit to that location. Okay? Forward. What brings the units closer to a victory location? Most likely. But at the same token, if you route that unit forward, and you can if it's DM'd, you need to anticipate the con, which would be is the enemy in a position in a subsequent player turn to move his units all around that unit that's broken and encircle you. And then when you don't have a legal route location, surefire way, your unit will ultimately be eliminated. And believe you me, the best way to eliminate infantry enemy units is by not giving them the opportunity to route. Denying the opportunity to route to a broken unit is the surefire way of eliminating enemy units. So you need to think twice before you opt to route forward. Okay? We're really getting into depth here. All right, sideward. If you look at the hex grains, right, by routing sidewards either in one direction or the next, you're not bringing that broken unit any closer to um, to a known enemy unit. Right side, route sidewards along the hex grain. And what you're doing there is actually using broken units to give you the opportunity to flank an enemy position. So that's why I say in that case, a sideward a route may provide you with the best possible combinations of all benefits. But at the same token, depending on the situation, everything might apply, which is interesting. it is interesting. And in playing the game, I should um, highlight these opportunities and bring you examples in my AARs with respect to that. I hope this makes sense. Now let's take a look at that. The simple uh, example from the SK rulebook. Okay, so if you speed read this, it looks like this unit here is routing like that, but it's not the case. These are four different units. So let's take a look at it on Vassal. Let's see. Ah, here's Vassal Magic. So ideally, if these units broke um, broke in their during their player turn, the Russian units need to route first. They're DM'd. Boom. Okay. This unit here would be eliminated for failure to route. He's literally surrounded um, by enemy units, and no matter where he ends up going, he'll still end up being adjacent to an enemy unit, so he is eliminated. Okay, this unit's legal route location is here. You can't go there because you'll be adjacent. Can't go there. Can't go there. Nor there. Um, why doesn't he? And this unit here is known. He does have loss right along the hex grain here, and he can't go there subsequent to that. So the only place to route is there. That's uh, the closest location. Now here he would have to local there, and this dude here, his legal route location is the hex he's in, because because um, because the legal route location, he is in rally terrain. He is in rally terrain. He is not adjacent to any known enemy unit. Therefore, uh, he can stay there or opt to route, in this case, down to here. And the advantage of routing to here is that um, is that uh, if it is his opponent's job to guard these units, to guard these locations, right? Chances are that the German player advancing onto his position uh, will probably not pursue him and just buy time to keep other units that are advancing from achieving a victory location somewhere on here. One other thing I'd like to add. Let's bring these guys back. And I think in Starter Kit 4 they introduced the concept of uh, uh, of, of concealed units. And let's clone this dude. Put him in here and conceal him. Conceal the guy. There you go. Let's remove all the moves. Now let's do this route face again. Um, this is, for this unit here, this is in fact his legal route location. He broke in this open ground hex. He cannot remain there. He cannot go here or anywhere else. He needs to route to this location. Boom. The opposing player reveals an enemy unit, and this unit subsequently is eliminated. Now, what happens when he low crosses there? At this point, I believe, and I could be wrong, it's up to this player to either reveal that there is a known enemy, reveal this unit, and then he ends up being eliminated as well, or he may want to keep his concealment. If he wants to uh, not give up this position and remain concealed. That's more advanced. Now, I believe it's in Starter Kit 4, but that would be something more attuned to full-blown advanced squad leader. I hope I clarified matters and made it clear why routing is not a question of need. It is a question of must I route, or yeah, must I route, and can I opt not to route? It's a matter of determining the legal route location. That route location may be your own hex, and that's about it. Um, I have a problem uh, describing routing as a need because the word need kind of distracts you from the fact that in the rules it says, hey, you need to route. And the only way you're not going to route is if these conditions are true. So that's that. And I think 20 minutes, I think I've said enough. I am going to try and do a second video, and that will be an overview of scenario Hasmo 11, which I played. Um, I played and then subsequently had to upgrade my computer because I was having issues with my old computer. And then I just conceded the game to my opponent. Um, but there were several things that we did wrong, including setup. And it transpired into a little bit of a mayhem whereby he took over one of my flanks. I encircled him. And then the question is, what are the victory conditions there? And how do you best play it? So I hope to bring you an overview of that scenario and also do some solo play. So that's what's in store, unless I decide otherwise, okay? And having said that, I want to wish all my Orthodox friends, that's Greek people, Ukrainians, Russians, Eastern Europeans, a happy Orthodox Easter. And I'd like to put in my 2 cents with respect to Mr. Putin. The pig did not opt for a ceasefire during this holy weekend. So I hope he rots in hell. Take care, bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Happy Easter to the Orthodox people.